Unit 6, Lesson 5, Add and subtract mixed numbers with like denominators. For quick practice today, you're going to take mixed numbers and improper fractions and reverse them. So your mixed number you're going to turn into an improper fraction. Your improper fraction you're going to turn into a mixed number. If you need help with that, remember, go back a lesson and see how we did it. Do this now. For activity 1, we're going to be doing something similar to what we've done in the past. For activity 1, we're going to be adding and subtracting with fractions greater than 1. So activity 1, add and subtract with fractions bigger than 1. Remember, when we're talking about bigger than 1, we're talking about improper fractions and mixed numbers. Okay. We had a couple different ways of modeling how we add with different numbers. Remember, we've used fraction bars, and you've added, for example, 4/5 and 3/5. And so you drew a bar that had 5 pieces with 4 shaded in, and you drew a bar that had 5 pieces with 3 shaded in, and then you added your shaded pieces together, remembering that my denominator stayed the same. We've also modeled using subtraction, where you had drawn out your 2 pieces, and I want to model 8/5, so I draw 2 sets of fifths with 8 colored in. And if I cover up 4/5 of the bar, then you should be able to count how many are left. Well, now you can still continue to use those same models, or we can continue to add and subtract using what we know about addition and subtraction. Okay? For example, 8/5 minus 4/5 equals, remember, we're going to take the numerators and write them together, 8 minus 4 over 5. Therefore, I'm left with 4/5. So that was another model that we used. Okay. Go ahead and look at page 209 in your book. We're going to practice addition and subtraction with fractions greater than 1. Number 1. This is going to provide us practice with adding and subtraction fractions greater than 1 with like denominators. Remember, we're going to have some improper fractions in this section. So I have 8/5 plus 3/5. Well, I know that 8 plus 3 is 11, and my denominator stays the same. So I get the answer 11/5. Number 2, 6/9 plus 12/9. Again, I'm going to leave my denominator the same, and I'm going to only add my numerators. 6 plus 12. 6 plus 12 is 18. 18 over 9. 18/9. Notice on number 3 my sign has changed. Now I'm subtracting. 10 minus 3, my denominators stay the same. 10 minus 3 is 7 over 7. If you choose, you can also write 1. Go ahead and complete 4, 5, and 6 on your own. Now go ahead and let's look at the second part. Add mixed numbers with like denominators. Notice here we've got our mixed number plus a mixed number. We're going to take our whole numbers, 2 plus 1, which gives me 3. And I'm going to add my numerators of my fractions. 3 and 1 are 4. So my denominator is 5, and my numerator is 4. So I have 3 4/5. Go ahead and complete questions number 8, 9, and 10 on your own. Now let's look at numbers 11 through 14. Now we are subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators. My signs have changed, so I'm subtracting now. Again, I'm going to take my 6 minus 3, which is my numerator, which I'm left with 3, and I subtract my whole numbers, 5 minus 3, which is 2. So I have 2 and 3/8. Go ahead, complete questions 12, 13, and 14 on your own. Questions 15, 16, and 17 ask you to explain each solution. So go ahead and look at these problems for a minute and compare the 3 solutions. How are the problems similar? You'll notice that the whole number parts and the numerators are the same in all 3 problems, but the denominators are different. Notice that in each problem we are ungrouping one whole in the top number. So when I'm trying to subtract a smaller fraction from a bigger fraction, I'm sorry, let me say that again. I'm trying to subtract a bigger fraction from a smaller fraction. I actually need to take out a whole and therefore add my whole plus my numerator. My whole would have been a 7/7, or 7 plus 2 is 9. So my new problem becomes 5 9/7. Yes, this is a mixed number with an improper fraction. However, I cannot do it if I use 6 2/7 minus 1 5/7. Is 5 9/7 the same as 6 2/7? Yes, it is. They've just taken out a whole and added it so that their numerator is now larger. They did the same thing here. I can't take 5/6 from 2/6, so I have to take a whole away, take my whole plus my numerator to give me 8. So now I have 8/6. Okay. So in each problem we ungroup 1 as d over d, where d is the denominator. So in problem 15 we ungroup 1 as 7/7 and add it to 2/7. Which gives us our 9/7. In problem 16, we ungroup 1 as 6/6 and add it to 2/6, which gives us 8/6. So to explain each solution, we're going to say that we must ungroup one whole from the mixed number. So we're going to ungroup one whole from the mixed number. And add it, and add that whole to the fraction part of the mixed number. So now I'm left with I can take 5/7 from 9/7. It's just like if I was doing normal subtraction. I can't take 5 from 2. So I have to ungroup. Go ahead and turn the page to page 210. On page 210, we have Puzzled Penguin. Dear math students, here's a subtraction problem that I tried to solve. Is my answer correct? If not, please help me understand why it is wrong. Your friend, Puzzled Penguin. Look at this problem. He did 7 3/8 minus 1 5/8 to get 6 2/8. Think about the problems we just did on the previous page. He's trying to take 5/8 from 3/8. Is this possible? Write your response to Puzzled Penguin for number 18. For the last part, exercises 19 through 24, you're comparing each pair of mixed numbers using greater than or less than. Then subtract the lesser mixed number from the greater mixed number. So for example, we have 3 2/5 and 1 4/5. Well, I know that 3 2/5 is going to be greater because my whole number is bigger. So I would write it 3 2/5 is greater than 1 4/5. Then it wants me to subtract the lesser number from the greater mixed number. So my problem would look like this. 3 2/5 minus 1 4/5. Remember, I can't take 4 from 2, so I need to ungroup this, which becomes a 2. And then I'm going to make this 5 plus 2, which now will give me 7. 7/5. So I am left with 2 7/5 minus 1 4/5. When I subtract 7 minus 4, I get 3. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I have 1 3/5. Let's do one more together. Go to question 20. We have 8/9 and 2 2/9. I'm trying to figure out which one's bigger. If I continue and leave this problem just the way it's written, I'm going to have 8/9 and I'm going to have 2 2/9. What sign is going to go in the middle here? Well, I want to eat the bigger number, so 8/9 is less than 2 2/9. Now I want to subtract 2 2/9 minus 8/9. So again here, I'm going to have to ungroup, and this now becomes 1. I'm going to say 9 plus 2, because remember I have to make a whole, which gives me 11/9. And this stays 8/9. So when I subtract 11 minus 8, I'm given 3. So my answer is 1 3/9. Go ahead and complete numbers 21 through 24 on your own. This concludes Unit 6, Lesson 5.